Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. All right, guys, tonight we're going to talk about Chipman. I know I don't want to talk about Chipman anymore. I don't like his face, and I don't like his heart. He's obviously not a good person on the outside or the inside, and he's not the right person to lead the ATF. We all know that, but I've got a new prediction for you. Personally, again, this is just a prediction. I am not a fortune teller, but this is what my gut is telling me from what I'm seeing, and you guys can let me know what you think in the comments field below. I don't think that this is a case anymore of who's going to get Chipman across the finish line. I think this is a case now of political gamemanship about who is going to let Chipman fail and whose political fault is it going to be. Now, keep in mind, we've talked about this routinely since April. If they don't get Biden, or it's not Biden, if Biden doesn't get Chipman into the director of the ATF position, that is a huge fail. He lets down a huge part of his anti-gun lobby constituency, which is massively bad politically. So they don't want to do that. At the same time, you've got senators who do not want to have their names on this guy. And the more time that passes, the more things that come out, like the article we're going to talk about tonight, the more that it gets worse and worse and worse, and they're not going to put the name on. Which is why, in my opinion, you see all of these senators who are Democratic in nature, John Tester, Manchin from West Virginia, Sinema, you've got Angus King from Maine. They can't lose one Democrat. But they've got 4 to 5 they're having problems with. And that's why you can't be undecided on this. There's no way you're undecided. I'm sorry. If you're a senator, you're not undecided. You partner that with the fact that Dick Durbin and Chuck Schumer have not put him for a vote yet. Just saying. The point here is we're going to dive in, and this is my case. So follow with me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments field below. And I want to know if you guys share the same opinion or if you think something different. But let me know. All right. So I'm going to cover this article from CNN, but I'm going to do a little montage just to kind of show the path of where CNN, leftist CNN, has gone on the Chipman nomination. Here we go, starting in April when he was nominated. Biden's planned pick for ATF director, a fierce advocate for gun control. Okay, April. Now let's go to May. Law enforcement groups endorse Biden's pick for ATF director ahead of confirmation hearing. Let's go to July, June. Gun politics scrambles Democrats' efforts to confirm Biden's ATF nominee and craft background checks deal. Now let's go to July. White House hasn't given up on imperiled ATF nominee. Beginning of August. Biden's ATF pick faces grim confirmation prospects as key Democrats withhold support. And now tonight's ATF nominee failed to disclose talks and events to Senate committee, including speaking on politics of agents. Do you see how clear and cut that is? From full support to excitement to moderate support, we got to get this done, to I'm questioning this, guys, I don't know, to now full on, it ain't going to happen. The CNN and the internet is turning against you. That's a problem, at least for them. It's great for us. But let's talk about the article tonight, and I'm going to show you how it leads into the senators and the White House playing this competing narrative of it's not my fault. My prediction for Chipman himself, Chipman is going to pull his own nomination. That's my prediction, because senators aren't going to want the L, and the White House is not going to want the L. My prediction is this guy, Chipman, pulls the nomination within this year. That's what I expect. I could be wrong. That's just my gut feeling. But let's talk about this article. ATF nominee failed to disclose talks and events to Senate committee, including speaking on politics of gun agents. Now, keep in mind, these things are coming out to leftist CNN article readers. Okay, CNN is doing investigative journalism on Chipman. That's enough. Well, the Biden administration's nominee to head the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives failed to disclose some interviews and events dating back to 2012 on paperwork filed with the Senate for consideration of his nomination. And here's what CNN found. These little paragraphs I'm going to read you really quickly, and then I'm going to tie into the politics part with the senators in the White House. In one undisclosed 2019 talk given to a law firm titled, "Can the Right to Bear Arms Coexist with Gun Control?" David Chipman said his views in politics weren't typical of most of the ATF and in law enforcement because the groups were mostly a very conservative bunch, primarily of white men. This guy has some serious issues of the heart. I'm just going to be honest. And if you are, I don't care what you look like. I don't care what you do. It doesn't matter. You are an American citizen. You're entitled to a Second Amendment right. Go team. That's as simple as it is. This guy doesn't seem to share that opinion, but that's my opinion, right? If you are authentic in this space, this is a quote, "you are likely to disappoint a lot of people," Chipman said in his November 2019 event on gun control at the law firm Cadwalder when asked how ATF agents felt about his work. I think that we have to understand that law enforcement generally is a very conservative bunch, primarily of white men, so the politics of this issue, as it is, sort of permeate it. I don't believe my views are typical, so your views are completely antithetical to everyone that you're going to lead. Yeah, it's going to work out great. The newly uncovered comments highlight an example of Chipman talking about the demographics and culture within law enforcement and the agency he hopes to lead, which could be problematic for the nominee, as some senators have already questioned if his past advocacy could make him less effective as a director. And this is the part that blew my mind, because CNN actually published this. Chipman also did not disclose 2 appearances he made on CGTN, a Chinese state-owned news company, in 2013 and 2012 discussing shootings and gun control. All right, those are things that we've known on the right side of this argument, on the Second Amendment advocate side of the argument. But for CNN to post these things, that says something, okay? The support is waning. But here is where the White House and the senators come into play. Chipman referred to CNN to the White House for comment. The White House told CNN they still stood by Chipman's nomination. Now, this is publicly. David Chipman has spent decades and years in distinguished service to our country as an ATF agent and has the exact set of skills and experience we need to revitalize the Bureau's work to crack down on gun trafficking and keep guns out of the hands of criminals. That's why his nomination has the support of leading law enforcement organizations, said Michael Gwynn, a White House spokesman. That's what they told CNN publicly. Here's a private leak from the White House administration. Publicly, the White House and Senate Democratic leaders are not giving up on the nomination, but privately, the assessment is far grimmer. At best, it appears Chipman's nomination may be forced to be punted past the August recess, which makes the prospects for his confirmation even less likely. Never over until it's over, but it certainly looks uphill, a senior administration official told CNN. And here's the senator angle. The issue is whether he's the right guy for the job, Independent Maine Senator Angus King, who caucuses with Democrats, told CNN in July. My question is whether he can be an effective director, and I haven't decided yet. Bullcrap alarm. There is no way you are a senator in the United States and you hear all the things and all the nominations, all the confirmations, and you do not know what you're going to do. It's not possible. Which leads you to the next element. The White House is saying we stand by him. Senators are saying I'm undecided. It's going to be a battle of attrition. The White House needs to get Chipman into that nomination to be successful. Senators don't want the terrible press of voting for this guy because he's a terrible human being on their record. So they're going to keep saying they're undecided. Right in the middle, you've got Dick Durbin and Chuck Schumer not calling it for a vote on the floor. Even privately, they're saying, and publicly to be honest, they're saying it's toast and it's not going to get a vote yet. This is going to come down to Chipman withdrawing his nomination because Chuck Schumer and Dick Durbin and the Democrats don't want losses on their records, and the White House doesn't want a loss on the record. If they force a vote, they get a loss. If they basically run the clock down, they get a loss. Chuck Schumer and Dick Durbin haven't called the vote because they don't have the votes. I'm telling you, this is going to end up in Chipman withdrawing his nomination for the good of the country and the administration's goals. That's my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And until tomorrow, I'm Braden. See you later.